Chess Fight Commentary Breakdowns. We have Xavier Santana, which you guys have met, and Chrisanthony, which you guys have met too. We're
Yo.
doing a special episode today. We're gonna break down Chrisanthony's most recent fight on Xavier's promotion, and we're gonna do other things. You guys can talk if you two want. I'm just gonna tweak the settings while you guys talk. So how you
Okay.
guys doing?
Pretty good. I'm
Doing
pretty
good,
good.
man. We're pretty good. Hanging in there, getting old, but you know how that goes.
That's that's
Yeah,
crazy.
man.
Yeah. So, Chris, you we'll talk more about this absolutely, but right before we got on, Chris and I were talking about his nose, and I mentioned this in my commentary, and Xavier also added to this, but Chris was basically had a broken nose during his most recent fight. So, Chris, I guess we can just start that while I tweak the settings on this live.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, what had happened was I do personal training as well. I have a client and he brought a friend who, he said he had a couple boxing fights, whatever, and they were sparring because he asked to spar. Now, I told him to go light because, of course, my client doesn't have much experience and he was beating him up. So I got kind of mad. So I put my gloves on and I told him, hey, you can spar somebody that has some experience. And I was cooking this dude. I was beating his ass and he didn't like it. So he shelled up and he just charged forward. He headbutted me in the nose. And then he was like, oh, we can stop sparring now. And I was like, nah, bro, restart the timer. So I got my get back. I beat him up. And my nose was a little messed up from there. Fast forward maybe like 3 weeks before the fight, my nose was hurting, but it wasn't like super bad. And then I ended up sparring somebody with a bit more experience. He threw a head kick, hit me really hard in the nose. It exploded. I was just bleeding everywhere. It was bad. I spoke to my coach. My coach said, hey, listen, like, you have a choice. You can pull out or you can fight. I've never pulled out of a fight in my life. And also, my coach did make a good point. He said, in the pros, like, once you get to the pros, you're going to have to fight sometimes with injuries, especially if that's how you make your livelihood. So
Mm-hmm.
I just decided, you know what, might as well do it. The game plan was go in there, get the job done early, and go home because I knew I couldn't breathe. But, you know what happened.
That makes so much sense. Why? First of all, that first round, everyone enjoyed.
That was
Like
insane.
everyone will be talking about that first round
Yeah.
forever. But it made sense why you
Oh,
put so
yeah,
much into
baby.
that first round. You knew you only had a round, basically.
Honestly, my cardio wasn't necessarily bad. I think so a lot of people don't know this. I'm actually really happy I get to talk about this. So
Mm-hmm.
my teammate Tony fought right before I did,
Mm-hmm.
and I was actually very calm backstage before Tony had his fight.
Yeah.
And Tony fought, and based on my coaches and the corner's perception, they said Tony got robbed. And so my coach comes backstage. I've never seen this man break character. He's the most calm guy ever. But he comes backstage. He throws the bucket on the couch and he goes, "What the?" You know what I mean? He got mad and he grabs me by the head and he looks at me. He says, "Chris, you got to F this guy up." He's like, "Listen, you got to go in there. You got to F this guy up." He's like, "F the judges, F all of that other stuff. Like, we got to get the job done." So I was really riled up as well. My whole plan for the walkout, I walked out to Rick James. I was going to dance, do a little moonwalk. I ended up coming out super serious, and that's kind of the tone I wanted to set for the fight. All shout outs and all props to James Gadson. He did an amazing job, by the way. I'm not trying to take anything away from him,
Mm-hmm.
but I do think I allowed myself to get a bit overly emotional. I
Yeah.
threw like 5 spinning kicks too because he just would not block them, and I was like, all right. So it was a lot of wasted energy, a lot of just overly emotional, I would
Mm-hmm.
say, is what
Yeah.
really made my cardio get as bad as it did. And then as well, like I was actually really mad I got stopped because I knew I had a couple seconds left in the round, and I'm not lying to you guys. I was trying to buy some time. I was just trying to breathe. And I really in the video you can even see when the ref is asking me, if I want to continue. You see me saying yes. He waves it off. I get mad. It is what it is. But learning experiences again. So
Yeah.
yeah, man,
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm happy I did it. I
Mm-hmm.
got a highlight from the experience. I'm sure
Yeah.
James had a great night too. So it's not just me that benefited. Xavier has highlights for his thing. We made
Mm-hmm.
history with a highlight. So I'm
Yeah.
very
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep, that was
exactly.
insane, bro. That was insane. That spinning head kick twice. That was, huh,
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful.
yeah. And it's interesting too because for those of you who listened to it live or who were there live, you knew that unfortunately the venue sound guy wasn't communicating with the live commentator or the production team. So like if you
Hmm.
look at the live commentary, my commentary was all like the audio peaked. Like it was all a miscommunication between the
Yep.
sound guy. The reason I'm
Yep.
saying it is because the sound person had the music so loud that I didn't even hear any bucket thrown or anything. But like hearing Chris talk about how there was a bucket thrown in his
Yeah, I
corner, I'm
was
like,
like, well,
wow.
well,
Like
but
Xavier, you didn't know either, right? You didn't know.
I
Like
didn't
we
know,
would have heard it
dude.
if the music weren't as
Bro,
loud. Wow.
listen, I've known Freddie for his coach Freddie for years. Like he said, he's never breaking character until that day where I watched him in person. I was like, holy crap, he does have a dark side. Oh my
Wow.
god.
Wow. I mean, he cared so much about his fighters, right? So I get
Of course,
it.
no,
I
Freddie,
get it.
Nah,
Freddie's
But
Freddie
you know,
loved
it's like
us a
bro,
lot.
he
yeah,
loves
he
his fighters,
really
man.
he
He
did
loves
it
his
out of
fighters.
love, but sometimes unintended consequences. You know, it puts a lot of pressure on Chris
Yeah,
Anthony, and so
yeah,
Chris Anthony was all chill. Now he's out there. He's like, oh, you know. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, but Chris is a beast, man.
yeah,
Don't let him
yeah. I
don't let
mean,
him
he
fool you.
unlocked your
He's
beast
playful,
mode,
but
right?
he's a
That
beast.
first round was scary. Like if I were Gatson, I'd be a little scared that first round. You know, props to Gatson. He held his cool.
Dude, he did, man. I think one of the biggest like the takeaways for me from this fight was that for a while I didn't necessarily know how much power I had. Um, so it's like when you're in a fight and you're hitting somebody, you can visibly see the damage, and you drop somebody for the first time. That's my first time. That well, not really, but my first time since I've been to America that I've dropped somebody in a fight.
Wow.
And
Wow.
it like and the way I did it too, it was a huge like it's a lot of firsts that happened for me on that night.
Yeah.
Big bursts of emotions. It was crazy. And like I think ultimately I'm not mad at how the night turned out. I'm actually very, very happy with my performance, especially knowing what I went in there with. Um but I also think like, dude, it's so cool how both sides, because Gabe is the photographer, one of my friends is the photographer, and he captured photos. So he's my teammate. He ended up capturing photos of James and James celebrating, and he was expressing to me that like it's difficult for him to watch the guy that won the fight, my opponent, celebrate. And I was kind of explaining to him like, bro, it's a beautiful story for James too, because like he had to overcome some adversity as well. I just
Yeah.
think it's so cool how there's like always two sides of the story, and both sides of the
Yep.
story are equally as beautiful. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like there's so much you can pull away from both sides of the story. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. And that's the props I want to give to Xavier Santana because as a fighter, he understands that.
Yep.
Of
And
course.
so as a fighter, that's what we're capturing, right? That's what we want to
Mhm.
capture. It's like a
We
lot of
want
the
to capture
comments
the essence.
when I interviewed all the fighters, they're like, "Oh my god, it's so cool to see fighters respect each other. It's so cool to see a non-caricature portrayal of what the fighters are before and after and during, right?" And I think that's what we're trying to
Mhm.
do with what Xavier's trying to create.
Yeah, man, that's the goal is to show the realities. Like you know, we're not just a badass covered in tattoos or badass, we look ripped, we're muscular. It's like no, we have character, man.
Yeah.
We're
People.
people character.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mhm.
Um, while we're at it, Chris, if you're okay with it, I'll stream it real quickly. I'll stream the fight and then we'll just kind of talk about it together. And I'll stream it in slow motion. So everyone watching, I know when I stream it, probably the frame rate won't be as good as watching it live, of course. But if I stream it in slow motion, hopefully you're not missing much. And that way we have time to kind of go over all the beats of the fight.
Yeah.
So
Okay. For sure.
yeah, so let's do that right now. Let me just load it up. Yeah, so here it is. So I will start real quickly. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and then let me know if you guys are able to see this. And
Okay. Yes, awesome,
okay, so
dude.
you see
I
it?
can
Yes,
see it.
sir.
Perfect. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slow it down to 50%, and that'll give
Okay.
us a lot of time to talk. So that way, viewers, you're going to see a little bit of a delay. It's fine. Not delay's the wrong word, but the screen, the frame rate, that's what I say, is not going to be as good, but it's fine. we're trying to analyze this in slow motion. If you guys want to watch the original, you got a lot of places to watch it. So,
Oh yeah, a
you
lot
know,
of places.
you're
A
here
lot of
for
places to
the
watch it.
experts, the Xavier and the Chrisanthonys, right? So
Yeah,
that's
baby.
why you're here. So, anyway, so what was going on in your head right now, Chrisanthony?
Okay, first round, I wanted to make a statement. So I was actually planning to go in with a really hard low kick, and then he threw a kick here.
Mm-hmm.
I caught his leg.
Ooh.
Can you pause it really quick?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that was beautiful.
yeah.
I had planned to scoop his leg, throw it to the side, and throw a low kick.
Uh-huh.
Because I've been drilling that specific catch literally my entire camp.
Uh-huh.
But I've also been throwing people all camp. So what ended up happening was just drills, right? So he threw the kick, I caught
Yeah.
it. His foot was still hooked in my arm,
Yeah.
and I realized I had the opportunity, so I just took it. I just picked him up and just threw him down.
Oh, I see. Now,
Ooh.
would this throw also be Muay Thai appropriate, or would this
Yes,
be more
it's
Sanda?
legal because I used the front of my shin on my left leg. If you look at it, I scooped his leg, and then I
Right there.
went for the frame. Yeah, so I used the front of my leg instead of, so it's not a back trip. It's literally, he kind of went up a little bit to kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
avoid
I
it.
could tell. He kind
So
of
he
jumped
went up a little bit. So I
Yo.
just kept it going and I just threw him down.
Makes
But that's
sense.
legal in Muay Thai.
I
Should
see.
be.
Yeah.
Should be legal. But I've seen throws like that in Muay Thai.
That
Yeah.
boy did a choke slam from hell.
Yeah, that was like
WWE live, bro.
almost a choke
That
slam, but
was
without
beautiful.
a choke. Yeah. Yeah. So right now he's coming in, right? One of the things that Gadson was like coming in, right?
Dude,
So,
so I was not. So my last fight was Richard. So you guys also saw a Richard fight on the main card of this event.
Mhm.
Very calculated fighter, very like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? So me and Richard had good exchanges. We fought to a draw, right? He
Uh-huh.
dropped me in the first round, crazy power. He hits hard as shit.
Mhm.
But we fought to a draw.
Mhm.
And fighting, like, I don't know if it's like MMA, because James also does MMA, so I don't know if it's an MMA pressure kind of wrestler kind of thing, but he just kept coming forward. Like, he took no moments to really necessarily reset.
Yeah.
Like, he was just coming forward right there. Okay, so after I missed the first spin kick, I'm not gonna lie, I took it personally because in every single fight that I've had, I've thrown a spin kick and I've missed it every single time. Specifically, the one with Richard, I think would have knocked him out because of how I threw it, and it missed. And like, I've been missing spin kicks every fight, bro. So I missed that one, and I got really mad. So I backed up and I was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna throw it again."
Oh, so that punch that Gadson threw hit you in the nose, it looked like,
That's
right?
not even the one that like did it, bro. It was one of the overhands he threw right before a takedown. So he hit my nose, then he took me down.
Wow.
And I think he slammed me after that. And when I got slammed, I could not breathe. Like,
wow.
that knee, I drilled that as well. Dude, he just like, he kept, I tried to get him to back up here. I threw the hook cross right here, boom, boom. Landed very clean. He backs up. I have the space now. He takes a step forward, and then now I know my range. The thing is, and what's crazy, dude, I didn't even land with my heel. I landed with the back of my calf. And that's another thing, too, is like the range was slightly off.
Yeah.
So it's things like that. Like, I feel like if my heel had hit him, shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Like, if I really had hit with the right part of my leg, things could have been different. But, you know what I mean? Again, props to him, because that shit hurt.
Yeah.
I know it did.
That's the insight from you. Like, I wouldn't have known that it was sort of more the calf that landed.
Yeah,
So-
look at it, because it hit
Yeah, I'm
my
trying
his
to
head
back
hit my
up.
calf, and then it bounced off my calf and kind of hit
Like
my
back
heel
it up
too.
a little, few seconds, and
Yeah,
you'll
exactly.
see his calf literally connect with the top of his head.
Yeah, so we'll slowly go frame by frame.
So I threw the hook cross to kind
Yeah.
of back him up right here,
Yeah.
give myself the room.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're cross connected, man. Oh, that you
Dude.
could see that image. Look at that. You're
I
cross
was trying to get him out of there, bro. I don't know
Yeah.
what to tell you, man. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, and then
he
like
caught,
you said,
he caught me
he's
with
in
that same
range.
cross a few weeks back.
Wow. I see. So he's in the right range for your kick, and it's like finally you're gonna get that kick. For those of you wondering why it's taking a little longer, because we have a Zoom call and we're streaming and we're trying to work YouTube. So that's why the frame isn't going as smoothly as before. So eventually that means Jerry got to invest in more equipment. So if
Not
viewers want to
not
support us,
sponsored,
right?
Jerry, but switch to Opera
Subscribe.
GX, bro. It takes way less RAM. Just switch to
Okay,
Opera.
I got it.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna write that down.
Yep. And it's way more customizable. Shout out to Google, but Opera GX is just better.
Okay, I'm gonna remember that. Let me next time maybe I'm gonna try to use
Like, let
Opera.
me write that down now.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, because as you guys can see, it's taking a little time. Okay, all right, here we go.
There we go.
Yeah, it's not.
So you
There
see,
it is.
as he steps forward too, like maybe if he had stayed at the range he was at,
Uh,
but he stepped forward, my leg came around and it was the calf that hit him.
oh,
But dude,
oh
Oh,
yeah,
there we
yeah,
go.
right
There we
there.
go.
I
Right under
freaking
that calf.
launched that shit,
Yeah,
bro.
he happened to tuck his
Jesus,
chin a
dude.
little too, right?
Yeah, he
That
did.
yeah. If he
Yeah,
didn't,
just
maybe it
show
would
that
have
little
been
top
like the
part of his
side.
cranium. Yep.
Yeah, but because he tucked his chin, it was straight up your calf.
And then I also think too, like a back kick would have been so much better too, because instead of hooking it, if I had thrown it straight up the middle, that shit would have been game over. I'm actually, now that we're talking about this, guys, I'm actually gonna start doing that instead. Yo,
Yeah.
high key. Actually,
that boy,
okay,
that
next
boy
fight, next
Chris.
fight, next fight.
Yeah, the
Straight
thing
up the
I,
is,
middle.
I'm gonna hold you to it,
his
son.
hand
I'm gonna
being
be
there
there.
helped
I'm gonna
too,
hold you
right?
to it.
That glove helped cushion a little bit too.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
I always tell people like keep your hands up. Some
Nah,
viewers
facts.
like Jerry, but Sensei Seth say you don't have to. I'm like, well, Sensei Seth is a black belt. You're not a black belt, so keep your hands up.
Yo, something that I don't think anybody, I don't know if anybody spoke about this. This is my first time
Hmm.
fighting with elbow pads. It feels so crazy on your bicep. Like
Oh, really?
my arms got super like gassed out. Yes, I was also throwing a lot in my punches, but my bicep, it's also something you have to get used to. I also wear elbow pads in sparring now, so I'm getting better at it, but
It squeezes.
it
It squeezes
blood
all the
squeezes.
flow.
blood. That's
Yeah,
why.
blood flow.
Dude,
Yeah.
it was a weird feeling. I could not keep my hands up for shit, bro.
Wow.
It was insane.
Yeah, that
That's
makes a lot of
crazy.
sense, right? If there's less blood flow, it's gonna do anaerobic respiration, so your
Yeah.
muscles
Yep.
are gonna get the lactic acid. They're gonna get sore.
Yep.
All part of the game, man.
Yeah.
Also, maybe we gotta just tape it looser next time too. I'm looking at that frame right there. That looks really tight on my arm. So
Yeah,
Ah,
definitely. Yeah, I can see.
part
yeah.
of it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. It was suffocating his bicep,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's exactly like Chris Anthony said. Like, just inches, man. Inches, it would have been different. Because again, props to Gasson for having his hands up, right? That helped probably
Yeah.
bounce the foot a little bit
That helped
away.
bounce. Mhm.
Yeah. Guys, have your hands up. I don't care if like some fighter in the UFC can fight with their hands down. You're not that fighter, okay? So like stick to the basics, stick to the fundamentals. Don't try to get fancy.
Oh, don't get fancy with it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You gotta be you. You gotta keep those hands up at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I will say though, as somebody who's an avid hands down fighter, you have your moments. Enjoy yourself sometimes a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Have
I
some
mean,
fun
yeah,
sometimes.
you're right. You're right. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Enjoy yourself. I kind of wish, there's shoulda, coulda, woulda. Again, I wish I had relaxed a bit more and kind of did drop my hands sometimes. 'Cause then I feel like I would have had better vision. I feel like having my hands up while he was blitzing like that also did impair my vision because you're not only, yes, I'm blocking the shots, but it's also hitting my forehead because it's hitting my glove.
Yeah.
And he's
Mhm.
not necessarily throwing hard shots, but because he's coming forward, my arms being here, stuck to my face, make it a lot harder moving backwards to really defend myself
That makes
in
sense.
some way. You get what I'm saying? At
Makes
least for
sense.
me
Makes
personally.
sense.
But my coaches always tell me I kind of suck defending backwards. I can fight going backwards, but defending going backwards, I kind of suck. So I need to work on that a little bit.
And then eventually you land a hook kick, I believe. So we'll see that.
Yes. That uppercut hook, I was drilling that all camp too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's so cool. It's so cool just seeing this in slow motion, breaking this down with you guys. For those of you tuning into Fight Commentary chats, you guys saw this first. If I one day bring it to Fight Commentary breakdowns, you know where we got this first. So nice clinch fighting, by the way. So Chrisanthony here got him in clinch. Xavier, what was the rule
Yes.
with clinches in this match? Like,
You
how
got
long could they
I,
seven
clinch?
seconds.
Oh,
Seven
okay,
seconds. I
okay.
extended it to 7 seconds because normally it's three
It's
seconds.
three.
I
Yeah,
was like,
that's what I
nah, I
thought.
want them both to work. They can work their knees. Hell, they can even do elbows if they wanted.
Yeah.
But it has to be on both sides
Yo,
agreeing.
I'm so
So
mad that sweep fucking missed. Oh
Hmm.
my goodness. I'm so mad that sweep missed, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, that took so much energy for no return.
Yeah. But then you got him here.
That was
mhm.
beautiful. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. That was
So,
hard.
let's for viewers unfamiliar, Chrisanthony, why did that sweep take so much energy? Tell us about that.
I missed his leg. So
Oh, we don't
that's a
see it in
sweep.
this angle.
Xavier
Oh,
didn't post it in the video, the promo video, but I threw that sweep and I hit him with it. And
Oh
I've been
yeah,
throwing that
yeah.
sweep all
That's
camp.
that's that's behind the scenes, because he did. Chris Anthony did f me up a little bit.
hmm,
It was him. I think it was who else? Who else punched me in the nose or someone?
JB, bro.
I know I got beat up like 3 times for that promo, bro. I was like,
wow.
guys, I'm here holding mitts for you. They f me up. I'm like,
But yeah,
I
I did
just
that
fought two
sweep
weeks
in
ago,
camp,
boys.
but it took so much energy because I missed. So
Oh,
it's the Peter Yan sweep. That's what I call it. You fake a jab, you step behind their leg, and you hook around their face. It's like a clothesline. But I have to really plant and throw my whole body weight forward. And what
oh,
happened was when I went to do it, I didn't get the proper leg. This
hmm,
takedown right here was crazy, by the way. I have
yeah.
not been taken down in years, guys.
Wow.
This was such a new experience, and having that happen to me in a fight
Yeah.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Trying to like readjust. You can see
Yeah.
my coach there talking to me like, "Yo, all right, bro, get up."
Yeah.
I'm thinking to
Yeah.
myself, "Fucking hell, I cannot let that happen again."
When you got up, did you feel that blood surge into your like that like getting up too quick feeling?
So my back actually kind of still hurts to this day, but dude, my back
Oh.
hurt really bad. I landed probably something on my hip some way.
Yeah.
My there was
Mhm.
some pain in my legs and my glutes. They were
Oh.
like burning,
So
and
you
it's
were
all
already
Jeez.
feeling the pain after that first
yeah,
throw.
bro. It was tough. It's tough. This is
Fine.
why. All right, guys, listen. Wrestlers, I'm not gonna lie. Wrestlers have a very significant advantage. Um, just in fights in general, because genuinely, if you're not prepared for a takedown, that shit will get you. And I'm not gonna lie, it's nobody's fault, but we also were not prepared for takedowns. I don't know if I think it's just poor preparation on my part, but we did not drill takedown defense at all. Like we did throws, we definitely did throws, we did sweeps, we did catches, we did a lot of clinch, but we did no takedown defense. So you can see my clinch was good, my striking is
Mhm.
sharp. Everything that we drilled was working, but it's the takedowns, bro. That was the biggest, like, that was the turning point for me. It's really not being able to defend a takedown was tough. And now I'm going to Dagestan for 2, 3 years and forget. So, you know what
hey, hey, we can always have you train with Murad. He's from
Yeah.
Dagestan. He
bro.
lives here too.
Oh my goodness, bro. Tough.
Wow. Well, thanks for that perspective because in the second round he did that massive throw, so I thought it was that second throw that took it out of you, but you were already
That
feeling it after
one,
that first one.
that one was it. But the first one, it starts to burn after the first one, especially because like he kept shooting and I tried to defend one of them. I got one of them. I kind of defended one of them where like we just got tied up on the ropes for a while.
Uh-huh.
But it gasses you, bro. Especially because what I was
Yes.
supposed to do was just throw my weight on top of him.
Yeah.
What I did
Mhm.
instead was I kept trying to reach over his body.
Mhm.
Stupid, right? But because I didn't drill it, that like I was just on instinct. So natural human instinct, somebody grabs you, you grab them back, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now I wasn't.
Correct.
It ran through my mind at one point to try to pick him up, but I just did not want to waste that energy, especially if I knew I probably would not get him. He had better leverage. He just wrestles. Like he
Yeah.
knows what to do.
Yeah.
His pressure was a lot different from anything I've ever dealt with either, because it's like fighting strikers. We like to have our space. We like
Yeah.
to have space to land our shots. Wrestlers like being really close to you.
Yep.
And
Yep.
as somebody that likes to punch and kick people in the face, having somebody in your chest is super uncomfortable. And I've done boxing before to where like we're here,
Yeah.
but it's still
Mhm.
not the same thing as wrestling where his head is under your neck or
Yep.
They're grabbing you around the waist. It was crazy, man. It was a
Wow.
very new experience for me, but I'm actually really grateful for it.
Yeah,
I actually
exactly.
send the I actually send the video of us doing the live with to Freddie right now. He just
Cool.
messaged me back.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, bro.
And
Ooh.
now he starts.
Ooh,
He
nice
starts.
three. That was
Man,
good.
he's
Good
got
lead
that
hook.
wrestler pressure, man.
Oh,
Bro, it's
oh, you could have
insane.
grabbed him. You could have grabbed him and threw him, Chris. Oh my
Brother, I did
God.
not I did not want listen, I did not
Yeah,
want to be up close in that range. We had a game plan.
gotcha,
That was
gotcha.
horrible from me. Just reaching.
Mm,
Like I said, super
yeah.
emotional. Trying to throw that shot again. The 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like you calmed down a little here.
Yeah, we were trying
Nice.
to.
Good
I was
to
listening to my coach.
Uh huh.
The goal, honestly, this is still the first round, right?
Yeah, this is still the first round.
Yes, still
Yeah.
the first
So
round.
Oh,
the
you got him
goal,
Ooh,
again.
nice head
dude,
kick. That
I
was a
was
nice
fucking
head
sick.
kick.
Yo, I was
You
throwing
got him
that shit,
three
bro.
times. You know.
Woo,
I kept
oh my
throwing them shits.
God,
That one
bro.
was really bad because like I threw just a really tense kick. I threw it really bad. That one again up the
Oh,
middle would
oh,
have been way better than around the side there. Fight IQ, right? If I had
yeah.
thrown it up the middle instead, because he kept falling forward. I didn't even look at that. If I had thrown it up the middle, he would have fall right into it. Probably fucked his whole face up. But again,
Mm,
super emotional, not thinking, and like just poor decision making in the fight.
yeah.
Really is what cost it for me.
Yeah.
Did I spin again right here? Please tell
I
me I
think
didn't.
I
so.
think you
Hold
had
I
on.
one
hope
more
not,
spin.
bruh.
Wait. Did you spin on this one? Hold on. It connected.
Knee.
Oh,
Oh,
look at me.
dude,
Uh-huh.
I also could not believe for the life of me how he would just walk forward
Yeah.
after I would blast the knee like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause
Bro,
again, my fight with
yeah.
Richie, bro, I would throw like I threw the hardest knee ever, and he respected it. Dude,
Yeah.
this guy James, bro, he had zero respect for anything, bro. He was like, "Nah, I don't care.
Yeah. It's the
I do
wrestler
not
thing,
care."
man. You know,
It's a
wrestlers, they're
wrestler thing,
grappling,
bro.
but they
These
get need
guys,
all the time. Wrestlers are just
yeah, they fight
crazy.
with injuries all
Yeah.
day, bro. They're
Yeah.
just tough as
They
nails,
they
man.
eat like flailing. You know, jiu-jitsu guys get flailed on all the time by arms. Wrestlers really get flailed on all the time.
Oh yeah.
Try to take an angle here. That shit didn't work. He just grabbed me, turned me into the corner.
Man, breaking it down in slow motion is really cool. Like you
Yep.
see so
Oh
much
yeah.
more.
Oh yeah.
Wow. And there he got you with a body kick.
That was really good. I was trying. I don't know what the fuck I was trying to do right there.
Ooh, almost. And then this is when you fell,
Almost.
right? It was not a clean hit, right? You kind of fell.
Yeah, I slipped.
Okay.
It happens.
Yeah. And that was the
It
end of the round.
happens. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. I like this was such a crazy experience for me
Yeah.
because man, that wrestling stuff was crazy. I remember going back to my corner. That was when like me and my coach were talking about it. He said, "Hey, he's gonna come out and shoot." And
Yeah.
I was like, "I know." And like we, I don't know. I
He's
think
like, his reaction. I know.
We
you
could we
did
could
see me.
see. Look at his face. Look at the Chris
Yeah.
Anthony's face. He's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
oh shit.
Bro, I was fucking yo. So another thing that was insane to me, and me and my coach talked about it, was he did not give us the stool because he said the stool is for people who are tired, and he knows like we drill a
Mhm.
lot this camp, so our cardio was great. Like, so he knows
Mm.
like normally after one round, especially 2 minutes, like I should be fine, which
Yeah.
normally I am. I prefer not to take the stool, but honestly, had I taken the stool, I would have probably felt better.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my
Yeah.
legs were
Okay.
burning actually, and I could have asked him to take the
Ah.
stool, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too that like all fight IQ, you know what I mean? Like it's for me, it's a sign of not showing weakness to not take the stool, but nah, like fuck that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit
You
down, bro. I'm gonna
gotta.
relax.
Yeah. You gotta
Cause you
Yeah.
sit
can see
down and
me right
chill,
there.
bro.
You can see me like leaning
Yeah,
against
you're
the thing,
leaning.
trying to
Yeah.
like catch
I can
my
see you
bearings.
leaning against the post.
Dude, I should have just taken a seat, bro. And my dad was actually the one who pointed that out to me because my dad texted me after the fight, like, hey,
Mm.
why didn't your coach give you the stool? So I
Mm.
texted my coach, like, Freddie, And he was like, "Nah, you guys were good. Your cardio was fine." Which I wasn't necessarily breathing heavy here because I don't think it was a like I don't know, bro. Wrestling is a different cardio. I don't know how to explain it to you.
Yeah.
I didn't
Mhm.
feel tired, but I did feel fatigued. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
here we're breaking it down. Like my coach is telling me, use your knees. He's telling me the strikes are working. I just have to move a bit more, which you saw me try to do. I tried to move around more in the second round. I really wanted to. So the second round for me was to coast a little bit.
Hmm.
And then the third round, I wanted to put the pressure back on
Hmm.
because I knew myself. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck it. I'm not knocking this nigga out. He's not going out.
Yeah.
So at this point, I just need to like just work, you know what I mean? Touch and
Yeah.
moves. But he did a great bro. He did a great job of just cornering me, bro.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
he was a lot heavier as well than I thought he would have been, which was insane to me. He looked way bigger than he did on weigh-in day.
Yeah, that's wrestling, man. Those wrestlers, they dehydrate like a mother trucker, dude.
Dog. Hey man.
Talking
Let
about
me
mother trucker, there was a car getting towed outside. If you guys heard the alarm, that's what's
Yeah, I
going on
heard
on
it.
my
I
end.
heard it. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, someone's getting towed.
Yeah. Like right
Wait.
outside my building. I know.
Oh,
There's
shit.
unfortunately I just totally muted myself. Near my parents'
Mm.
place, there's one family that's just like there's a little bit like it's that family, of
Ah.
course, again. God. It's always one family. But anyways,
It
it looks like
happens, bro.
no more alarm. Yeah, so like such great insights, guys, for those of you I like such great insights from our man Chris Anthony. Were you expecting him just like come at you again like crazy second
Yeah,
round?
no, yeah, 100%. Like
Okay.
at this point, like I was like, all right, I know exactly what his game plan is gonna be. So we
Oof.
gotta meet. I gotta meet him in the middle,
Hmm.
and then the plan from here was to just move around. I landed that overhand right there. I wanted to transition to a clinch. In this exchange, he hit my nose. I remember that he did hit my nose in this exchange. I threw the
Hey,
knee, tried to get him off. I was just trying to get him off me right there. You can even see like on my face too how like my
Yeah.
mouth is.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm in pain
Yeah. You're
visibly.
like, yeah, you
yeah,
got
I can
that.
see it.
Ooh.
I'm visibly in pain right there.
Wow. And he's just coming forward, man. He's just
Yeah,
coming
bro. So
forward.
I was like, all right, we're not gonna play that game.
Yeah.
Put my guard out, moving around a little bit. He kept throwing those kicks, blocked it. He hit my bicep, which also like you see my arm start dropping now too.
Yeah,
With
yeah.
the elbow pads on and then also getting like hit on my arms, it started to gas my arms a little bit too. I did a bad thing right there of deciding to trade in that moment when I was in the corner. That was very stupid. I should have just continued moving around.
Mm,
And I decided because I didn't want to lose the round, and that's a bad habit I have of like trying to land every single shot that I throw. Is
mm,
I should have just decided to keep moving because this entire exchange right here was what favored him. None of the I don't have the grappling to deal with his pressure here. And so
mm.
mentally, I should have just stuck to what I was good at. But instead, I chose one of the worst spots to try to pick a fight, which was the corner. I've watched this fight like so many times to break it down. It's very funny.
Hey, you learned.
Yep.
Life lesson learned, brother. Oh,
Shot
nice
to the
kick to the
body, hook to the
good.
head.
Good
Landed
three
that in
to
my
the.
last fight too.
Wow.
Ah, you could have teeped him. Could have teeped him right
I
there.
could
Push him
have.
away.
I could
But you
have. I
finally
could
got
have.
out of the pocket. Finally
I
got out of
did.
the pocket.
I did. So the
Ah,
game plan, like, so mentally, my game plan was kind of working. The knee right there, like, I just
mhm.
wanted to touch and go, touch and go. So I'm throwing my shots. You see me backing out. I'm trying not to. Dude,
Ooh,
I'm
if that
so
uppercut landed.
dog.
If
I'm
that
yo
uppercut landed.
dog. Dog,
Oh,
I'm so
oh,
mad about that
God.
specifically because that is what got me taken down.
Yo,
Dude, I threw I threw so much into that. Like,
that boy
bro,
said Shin Shiryu like it was street fight right there.
look at that
Oh, my
uppercut, brother.
God.
That missed
Ooh.
like he just immediately shot for a takedown too, which is why it missed, bro. I that was crazy, dog.
Look at that. Look at that frame by frame. What
bro,
the fudge, bro?
bro. I threw
Oh
that
my god.
uppercut with everything I had because I'm reading the situation, right? Like I'm moving
Mm.
backwards. I'm just trying to get myself out of there. I'm trying to land my shots and go. I actually do this a lot. So after that uppercut, I was about to just pivot out on the other side. You can see my legs kind of in position for that already.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
immediately just grabs me by the legs. I'm in a horrible position to defend that takedown. I was mid uppercut. There's nothing I could have done about that.
Yeah, you're a little off balance.
Yeah,
Nothing
you're
I
a
could
little
have
off
done about that.
balance.
Yeah. Oof.
Wow, that's
And you're by the
crazy, dude.
ropes too.
Dude, so right
Uh,
here, you
mhm.
see me like grab him and I'm like like I'm forcing out my legs right now because at this point I'm like holy shit. And I is this the part where he slams me?
Yeah, he picks
Dude,
you up in the air.
so
I think
bro,
that's the next one. That's the next one. This is the
what
pre-slam. This is what gives him
Oh, okay,
confidence to
okay.
get the next one.
right before he slams me, I actually remember right before he picked me up, it was kind of a struggle. Like we were kind of like holding it. And like as soon as I relaxed,
Mhm.
he picked me up. And I was like, no fucking way. Like, I'm looking at the floor like, bruh, like, there's no way. Man, just pick me up, bro, in front of my friends and family. There's no way. Brother,
Yeah. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Here it
he
goes.
immediately shoots, I think.
Yeah, he because
Let's see.
that I called that the pre-throw, right? He got that confidence. He saw it, and
The
this time
lead,
he's
he
like,
did the
"I'm
lead
going
hook,
for it."
and then he shoots
He
That you
in.
found
see
his
that
timing.
shot he threw
Shoots in.
before he shot for this takedown, that
Mm-hmm.
random one-off shot, it
Uh-huh.
hit my nose like
That was the one that
Oh.
hit his
that was
hit your
look
nose.
So
at
this
look
one
at where
hit
my
your
hand
nose
is at.
Yep.
too.
Bang. So it hit my
Bang.
nose, but he was also falling forward. So it's not that it was necessarily the cleanest shot, but his
Mm,
body weight came in with it. Then he
mm.
slammed me into the ropes, bro, and like just dog. I remember looking over his shoulder, like, God damn, like I'm cooked. This is it.
What the
This is it.
fudge? Jerry, you got muted. Jerry, you're muted.
I know because there's still commotion going on
Okay,
outside.
okay. Gotcha.
I'm
My
trying
bad.
to not have that interfere with Chris's awesome commentary. That's why.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
So yeah, but
Gotcha.
yeah, like so this one took the wind out of you, huh, Chris
Bro,
Anthony?
that was the worst part of the fight right there. Because
Wow.
I got hit right
Wow.
before he took me down. So I'm on the floor right here, kind of like getting back up. You see me like take a knee, like,
Yeah.
fuck. Like, dude,
That's crazy. So you couldn't breathe
Crazy.
already, and then it's like boom, you got the wind knocked out of you.
yep. So you see me take my steps forward right here. I remember exactly too. I was like, all right, I just have to like kind of make it seem like I'm okay.
Yeah.
But then he immediately comes forward again, right? So I'm
Yeah.
trying to swing to get him to back up. I really wanted that to land as well. I was trying to time it. I thought he
Mhm.
was gonna commit. He does not commit. And then he started throwing like a barrage of shots and like pushing me through the ropes, which I was just not this knee as well, bro. I kept trying to just hit him to get him away from me because I really wanted to get my space back so I could breathe. Knees, everything. I wanted to land hard shots to get the respect from him. When really I should
Mhm.
have prioritized movement as opposed to throwing. Because like really, if I had just kept moving, think about it. If I had just kept moving for the entire round, yes, I was gassed. Yes, my legs hurt. But if I had just kept circling and circling, I might have lost the round, but ultimately could have won the fight in its entirety. So, again, poor IQ because I keep fighting every single round like it's the last round of the fight,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
makes no sense, right? It's not intelligent fighting. So, a great learning experience from me here as well. Because at this point, you see me put my hands up and I take that heavy front leg stance. I'm
Yeah.
tired, bro. I was tired. I parried that, and then he immediately shot again.
Yep. I see
Brother,
it.
this one he didn't even take me down. He just scooped my legs out and like turned me over sideways. Yep, see?
Yep.
And I landed on
Um.
my hip, bang. And I took a seat, like, look at me, like leaning on the ropes, like, holy shit,
And
bro.
Chris is like, Chris legit where he leaned back like,
Bro, I'm
fuck.
telling you my play by play of my thoughts. I lean back like fuck. Like dog, this shit sucks. Like, bro, holy shit, bro. This shit
Dude,
sucks,
what
bro.
the hell, bro?
Bro, this shit sucks, bro.
Was so this third throw, did it sort of hit at the same spot like the first throw in the first round? Was it like that
So
same
yeah,
area?
so dude, so like you see on my hip, like, cause James he picks you up like from the same spot all the time. Like you can tell it's something he's drilled over and over again.
Mm.
Cause he kind of picked me up and dunked me on the same spot, and I kept landing on my hip and my glute. And again, I'm not used to getting thrown. Like even when people catch my kicks, I don't get thrown. I'm a super nimble guy, so I like jump out of shit when I know people can't like just grab me and throw me down on the ground, right? So I'm not accustomed to getting slammed. My body was
Mm.
experiencing like a lot of new things. Plus, every time you get slammed, the air gets knocked out of you. And I had already been hit in the face, slammed prior to this. So he just took me down again, lifted me up, both legs went up in the air, boom, slammed me on the floor. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bruh, what the fuck? I also did know that there was a couple seconds, like, I think here I had maybe about 30 seconds left in the round, if I'm not mistaken. So I knew I
Mm.
had a little bit of time left. And so the game plan for me was to just, bruh, just make it out the round. And then the referee gave me the standing eight. So in my last fight, my
Mm.
coach Freddie told me, when you get a standing eight, there's no point in rushing to tell them that you're okay because you've already got the standing eight count.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
already
makes sense.
got the standing eight, so you don't need to like be a super macho man and go out there and get fucked up.
Yeah.
Just like take your time.
Yeah.
What I did poorly here was my demeanor was bad. So
Mm.
it's not necessarily that was a beautiful spin kick. Oh
Yeah.
my god. With no cardio, bro. And it was also a very low IQ
Oh
spin
my
kick.
Yeah.
God.
It
But
felt like you were going for broke there, right?
I
You were
really
like,
Yeah.
was.
"Oh, this is my
Yeah.
last thing."
Yeah.
I
He's
really
going for
was.
broke.
But also, every time I threw that hook, he would step back. He would take one step back and then he would start coming forward again, which is something if you rewind it, I missed the first hook cross I threw, I missed
Mm.
really badly. And then the second time I threw a big hook like that, he stepped back. So that time, I was like, all right, then, this is
You
what I'm
can
going to do.
spin
I'm going to
hook
throw the
kick.
hook. But he was coming in instead. I expected him to actually back up after the hook. I don't know why, because he clearly was just not backing up for the whole fight. But I expected him to back up. He did not. Put myself in a bad spot. Got hit in the nose a couple times here, too.
Hmm.
In the middle of the flurry. So it's like, boom, boom. He's throwing, my gloves are shifting. I'm getting hit in the face. I'm getting kneed in the body when I have no gas tank already. Cooked, bro.
Yeah.
Cooked.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant IQ. Good decision making from James.
Mhm.
Like, very smart way to conserve his energy as well. He
Mhm.
let me gas myself out, throw all the foolishness I wanted to throw,
Mhm.
and then he came on with the pressure. So that was really good.
So, do you think James figured out that maybe something was wrong with your nose, or do you think he didn't really know?
No, I don't think he knew. I
Okay.
think, well, then again, I don't know because I post a lot on Instagram and his team does follow me. Some of
Ah.
his team follows me. I'm a very open guy. I'm very open and vocal about the things that happen in my life,
Mhm.
and I talked about that a lot. So
Mhm.
it was kind of like I don't think his team was feeding him information. We're in the amateurs. I don't think it's that deep,
Mhm.
but I do think his corner was like, hey, he doesn't like the takedowns and he's clearly not responding well
Mhm.
after he gets taken down. So I
Mhm.
think that was his game plan clearly, and it worked.
Yeah.
Um, Something else too is like a fighter can tell, like a fighter knows, right? Like if you see something, or like my facial expressions, also like I said, emotions and like just my display of where I was at.
Yeah.
Cause even here, like, dude, I'm tired. I don't want to throw anything with risk of getting hit. So now I'm just trying to rest. I'm letting him count. I want him to count all the way to eight, bro. I'm like, all right, yeah, bro, just count. Let me breathe. Just count. Like,
Yeah.
He's stupid.
and then he kept
Hell
talking to
no.
me. So one of the things too is like he was talking to me. I was like, yes. Like I was actively trying to breathe, and he was like, "You want to continue?" I was like, "Yes, yes, yes." I kept saying yes, yes, but I'm like so tired. Wait for the head nod. You're gonna see me say yes again. I'm trying to get myself up.
Yeah.
He asked me again, tells me to take my hands off the thing. Brother, I'm like, and this is in super slow motion, right? But I'm
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had told me. So the reason you see me collapse there, somebody asked me if I collapsed because of fatigue. No.
Mm,
He told me he was gonna call it. So before he started waving his hands, he goes, "I'm gonna call it." And I was
Oh.
disappointed. So I was like, "Fuck," you know what I mean? It's not like because at
Oh.
that point the fight was over. He goes, "I'm
mm.
gonna call it," and then he calls it.
Wow. So you knew like a second before all of us knew. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
He literally
Oh.
goes, "I'm gonna call it."
What,
Either I'm gonna
man?
call it or I have to call it. He said something like that. He says, "I have to call it or I'm gonna call it." So I'm like, "All right, fuck." So I was disappointed. I felt like shit. And then
Mm,
also it's like you see me grabbing my nose there on the floor, bro, because it's like now it's kind of setting in.
Yeah.
I know the fight's over. I kind of get to sit there and kind of feel how I feel. There's disappointment there for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but ultimately, like I feel like even after the fight was over, I went backstage to kind of cheer up my teammates actually.
Yeah.
'Cause Tony
mm.
was upset. Tony was more upset than I was.
Wow.
Yeah,
So
Tony was really upset.
Tony was fucking. Tony was crying
Oh,
and shit. I was crying. We were all crying, bro. It
Wow.
happens. It's a part of it.
Yeah. Wow.
hmm
Wow. So these are it's like the emotions are hitting you. It wasn't just that you were gassed and you were tired. You're also
Yeah,
now
no,
feeling
it
everything.
sucked,
Yeah.
dude. You trained for this
Yeah.
fight. I actually trained. I was in the best shape ever too. The only thing that messed me up was my injuries. So I
mm,
also had, I think it was tendonitis in my right foot. So there was
mm,
a lot going on.
Yeah.
The tendonitis actually kind of cleared up a little bit before the fight. So it's not like I'm using it as an excuse or anything.
Mm-hmm.
mm.
Like it cleared up, but these are things that like fighters go through. It's
Yeah.
not just me. Tony broke, I think, two toes before his fight. Tony broke
Oh,
like
wow.
two toes, and Xavier
Wow.
knows
Jesus.
these things because like we honestly we told him like a little bit before the fight, and he's like, guys, like you guys shouldn't fight injured, but we're like, hey, listen, like we're coming out to put on a show regardless. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? He can't really
Yeah,
stop it. Like he cannot stop us. We
I
passed
can't.
the doctor's test. We passed the doctor's test. We passed our exams and everything. So they cleared us to fight
Wow.
because we also agreed to do it. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
nobody's
hmm
fault but our own. But at the same time, like things like these need to happen for us to learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm also going down a weight class because I've been fighting people who are just bigger than me for a long time.
Yeah. I
My
mean, you're
first,
saying you fought Rich, man. Like, how much is Rich bigger than you? Like, you
That's
went down weight
bro,
class to fall. That's crazy.
I Richie,
nuts.
dude, I fought Richie, and then my first fight in America, I used to walk around at 130 pounds when I was in Jamaica, and I
Mm,
fought at 125 pounds. So I moved up here and I got super big because I was eating all the American food. And my first fight here was at 155. It was against a guy named Alec Garza.
Mm-hmm.
mm.
Close fight actually, but he won the decision ultimately because he was just so big, bro. I was throwing shots that were bouncing off his body. Like
Oh
Wow.
my God.
I did. He
Jesus.
was bleeding a lot more than I was. I landed some front kicks to the face, knees to the body. He was bruised up. He was banged up.
Mm-hmm.
But he was bigger than me. My second fight in America was against Kaiser Espinosa, bro. Who right now Kaiser's about to go fight for the WBC Muay Thai belt, bruh. Like
Wow.
Kaiser is 6'2".
Yeah,
He's
he's a
like
big
six
boy.
foot
He's
two.
a big boy. Dude's a
Wow.
Kaiser
big
is
boy.
huge. Kaiser was my second fight here, brother. I want you to think about that. So I'm going from guys who are 125 pounds to like giant people.
Yeah.
Then after Kaiser, I fought Richie. After Kaiser, I fought Richard.
Wow.
After Richard, I fought James Gadson. So I'm going down to 135 pounds,
Yeah.
guys.
Wow.
I'm going down to 135. I feel like
Oh my God, dude.
if I can drop people at 45, especially because Richard was talking to me too. Like he's like
Mm,
me and him are really close now. We're super cool. That's my dog right there. But
that's what's up.
Richie told me in our fight like that I hurt him really bad, and he just poker faced through it because that guy has the craziest poker face ever. But he told me I hurt him really bad, and if I had put some pressure on him, I could have won the fight. Which
Wow.
also leading into this fight camp too, the idea was for me to put more pressure on people. It was for me to be more aggressive. My last
Mm,
fight, I was very passive. I did a lot of moving around the ring. I threw maybe total in the whole fight, maybe 50 or 60 strikes. So it was a very low volume fight for me.
Mm-hmm.
And this one, I think I threw way more.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's all learning experiences at the end of the day. I'm going pro. I know what I want to do in my life. So I just have to keep experiencing these things. Unfortunately, I've been on a bit of a L streak, but I also feel like, again, it's amateur, so it doesn't matter. And also, these things help me get better. Because if I've only had hard fights as an amateur, I think I'll do a great job, especially going pro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
really
Because
do.
it's a learning experience to get to the top. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep, yep. I saw a statistic the other day too that most of the people that do amateurs anyway don't even go pro. Like a lot of people stay at me and they just never transition. So
Mm-hmm.
the hardest part of becoming a pro fighter is actually breaking into the pro scene and actually keeping up with it and going through the hardships. So
Yep.
I'm very hyped. I'm fighting again in June. The commission said I can't fight for a month, so that ban is over. When was the fight? April
April 5th.
5th. So the ban is up May 5th in a couple of days. So I can compete again in May. I might do a smoker before I fight in June. So I'm probably gonna fight twice between May and June. And
Mm.
yeah, man, just keep going. Just keep getting experience. That's it.
That's the way to do it, brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's give a shout out to Marfort Muay Thai too, man. You guys are some great people. Like
Oh
Got the
yeah.
you,
shirt on right
just
now.
just
Okay.
hearing what you guys said. You guys were like, we're coming to put on a show. You guys really made the event good. Like you guys brought such a team. You guys brought such a crowd. And shout out to your coach. Shout out to everyone that's part of Marfort Muay Thai, man.
Thank you. I don't know if I can shout myself out, but I've been recently doing a lot more content on my Instagram promoting the
Sure.
gym culture. So you guys
Mm.
can follow me at mnrx.0 FFICIAL. So that's mnrx.official with a zero. Um, and
Oh.
yeah, we're doing some cool stuff, man. We're doing some cool
Uh
stuff.
huh. Uh huh. Yeah, I mean, anyone, anyone that is a fighter, I want them to get their stuff on social media, just yeah, absolutely.
Great platform,
So,
man.
yeah, I see. So you're MMRX official.
MNRX. So
Oh,
it's
MNRX.
yeah, man.
Okay.
It's the first tattoo I ever got in my life. Moon rocks.
Oh,
That's my fighter
oh,
nickname, Moon Rocks.
Ah.
Yeah.
I had questions I wanted answers. Like with moon rocks, what's going on there, buddy? We didn't see
Yeah,
Ron.
so I got the nickname in high school.
Oh,
Um, I used to do rap music, and so my rapper name was Moon Rocks because it's something you do with marijuana that
oh,
gets you very high, and so
oh,
that's what people said my music made them feel like. And so I
right.
kind of want my fighting style to transition into that too. I want people to like watch how I fight and just enjoy themselves to the point where they get kind of high from it, like
yeah.
super,
I
super
mean,
like
you
excited.
did with that spinning head kick multiple
Yeah,
times.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
that whole
saying.
working.
I
first
was like,
round,
It's
man.
working.
yo.
It's working. I'm driving the people crazy. That's the
Yeah.
goal, man. So highlight
Yeah.
reels. I tell myself this, right? Like if that was a pro fight, regardless of who won or lost, I probably would have got a bonus for that. So that
Oh
would have
yeah.
been money
Oh
in
yeah.
my pocket
Oh yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Totally, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
man.
let me just show people. So this is Chris Anthony's Instagram.
Oh yeah,
Eventually,
baby.
Chris Anthony, I want to encourage you put some stuff on YouTube too.
Yeah, bro. I actually
Mhm.
do have a YouTube channel that does have videos of my early days in Jamaica competing. I have
Oh,
Okay.
my first boxing fight on there.
whoa.
Oh wow. Okay.
Do we
Yeah.
search this too?
No,
Uh,
it's just actually I might be able to send you a link instead. It's
okay,
probably
yeah.
easier to find it that way. One second, let me do that really
Yeah,
quick.
exactly.
Um, view channel and then copy. So yeah, I actually have. How do I send this to you guys? Oh,
You
chat.
can send it via the chat on Zoom.
Yeah, I just sent it.
Okay, perfect. Let me take a look at it right now. Oh,
So
I see it. I
on
see it.
my YouTube, I have a music video I did when I was in Jamaica. You can learn a lot about me just watching my YouTube. It's me when I was younger, so there's a lot of film related
Gotcha.
content. There is my first boxing fight is on there
Mm-hmm.
after I broke my leg. So you can see in Jamaica we had a little ring. We had the guys out there. You can see very early the type of fighter that I am.
Mm-hmm.
You can see my training camp footage for a smoker fight I had
Wow.
there too. That was the first time I ever finished somebody in a
Wow.
fight. But yeah,
Short-haired
Hey,
Chris
yeah,
Anthony. Look at
short hair, Chris
that.
Anthony,
yeah,
yo.
man.
Hey, yo.
Yeah, man.
That's
Yo,
cool.
what that boy looking like? What's
Ah,
his
that's your
name?
boxing match. That's the
Yes,
one.
sir. Yes, sir.
Wow. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, so we will link all this stuff. Man,
That's dope. That's dope.
yeah, Chris Anthony, the invitation's always there. If you ever want to join Xavier, or if Xavier's not free, just me, just we watch some fights, we talk about it. You're
Yeah,
always
man.
invited.
Heck
Bro,
yeah.
yeah, hit me up. I'm hyped. I'm down. I'm
Yeah.
always down.
So
Heck yeah,
yeah,
man.
you're always invited. So yeah, in the future, whenever, like you can even reach out to me, Chris Anthony, just be like, yo, Jerry, you want to watch some fights together? And if I'm free, we can do more of this stuff.
Hell yeah, Jerry. I'm
Yeah.
also I'm gonna be doing a lot more traveling
Mm-hmm.
for some work. I'm going to Utah soon.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So
okay, nice.
yeah, man. So I might be coming to California. I don't know when. I don't know if you're coming
Mhm.
to Florida, Jerry, but if I'm in your neck of the woods, I'll definitely reach out and let you know.
Yeah, exactly. Because we
Mhm.
need more Jamaican people in my life, man. I was telling Xavier that until this event, like I don't think I knew anyone from like maybe sometimes you pass by someone, but like I didn't know anyone that I talked to that was from Jamaica. I was
Yeah.
meeting so many Jamaicans, I was meeting so many people from the Caribbean. I was like, this is so cool. It's like a different type of diversity. You know, California loves talking about diversity, but I'm like, you Californians, you've never met Haitians, you've never really met Jamaicans, never really met Puerto Ricans. You know, it's like
Yep, it's
you got to
100%
really
true,
experience
bro.
diversity, not just California diversity. That's still a
Yep.
bubble diversity. You know, it's only a specific type of diversity.
Yep.
Cubans too, man. Very few Cubans in California that I've met.
Really?
So, yeah. So
Wow.
California, that's why a diverse state can still be in a bubble because they're diverse, but only specific types of people. So they think they represent the world, but it's like, but no, you only represent this small section. But you think you're diverse
Mhm.
because there are a lot of different types of people. But in the grand scheme of things, it's only this little thing and this big thing.
Yep.
That's why you got to
Yep.
travel. So I support your traveling, Chris
Come to
Anthony.
Florida, man. Either that or dude,
Oh no, he'll be back. Remember, Jerry, you come back in June, bro.
Yeah.
I want to do a Thailand trip actually, and I want to do a Jamaica trip too. Jerry, if you go to Jamaica, I think you'd be able to get some really good fight content down there, dude. My gym, my home gym is probably I might toot my own horn, but I think we're the best gym in the country. Um,
Mhm.
or my coach and also my former training partner, well, still training partner. He just lives in Jamaica. His name is
Mhm.
Cheyenne Blake. He is, I think, ranked number 1 in the Caribbean
Wow.
and number 11 in South America. So, as an MMA fighter, so he amateur MMA fighter. So we have some of the best up there. We train really hard, and I think you'd really enjoy the environment too. Jamaican people love Asian people. We actually love Asian people. Like we have a lot of Chinese and Japanese people in Jamaica.
Oh, that's cool.
Loaded,
Oh
yeah.
wow, that's
So
cool. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
we do.
That's really cool.
We do. One of my
That's
closest
what's up,
friends
man.
is Korean. His name is Zhang. Nope,
Wow.
Zhang is Chinese.
Yeah, that sounds like a Chinese name.
Yeah, it sounds like a Chinese name.
Yeah, Kurt. His name is Kurt Zhang. That's my guy right there.
Wow,
That's
Paul
what's up, dude.
Hernandez was in the chat. Whoa.
Hey, what up, Paul?
Shout out Paul, bro.
What
Yeah.
up, Paulie?
Yeah, Paul was saying your fights was one of the best fights he saw from both sides,
Dude.
man.
Paul's fight was a war, brother. Like
that was
I,
insane,
dude,
bro.
my
That fight was
respect for Paul.
insane.
My
Wow.
respect for Paul is crazy, bro. Like,
Wow.
dude, he's such a humble, chill guy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's such a humble, chill, but he's with the war, bro. He likes to fight. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that I'm about, man.
Yeah, Paul's still here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
Paul's still here.
Hey, bro, shout out to Paul. Yeah,
What's
my guy,
good,
my guy.
Paulie?
Maybe next time we can get Paul in too. We'll do another talk with the four of us or something.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
for sure.
Oh
Man.
heck
We'll
yeah!
do-
We gotta do it for.
We'll brainstorm
Paul's fight.
strategies. How are we gonna take on Rich? I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
We'll like special little tribunal. We're gonna get Rich.
Tribunal.
Shout out Rich, man. Love you. Join our channel too,
Rich,
Rich.
we love you, bro.
He's loaded, bro. The fight scene in Florida is such a cool place because I think I've gotten to know so many people through social media that I haven't even met in real life, and
Mm,
they all look out for me. Like I met Marvin. I hope I don't butcher his last name. Bouger.
mm,
I think that's it. And Marvin, I've always seen him on Instagram. We talk to each other on Instagram. He was actually in Tony's opponent's corner. But Marvin is like huge
mm.
supporter of me. I'm a huge supporter of him. And it's just crazy how, yeah, we could be going against each other across the cage in terms of gyms,
Correct.
but at the end of the day, like, if you're cool people, you're cool people. Fighting
Yeah.
is it's interesting how such a violent sport breeds such compassion and like respect from people, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of people like basketball players, or you even see like soccer fans are so like hostile to each other and their
Yeah.
sport
Yeah,
is so
yeah.
chill, like they're
Yeah.
just kicking balls and stuff. But like fighters have such deep respect for each other because it's such a hard sport, man.
Yeah.
You know
Oh
what I
yeah, it's
mean?
a hard sport, bro. Like we can literally take someone's life away with our own
Yeah.
hands, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting,
Exactly.
man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only at like that UFC level where the fans like fight each other, but at the level the community we're trying to build, fans love
Yeah,
each other. You know,
yeah,
Facts.
we
yeah.
know
Because
because
at
we
the
know
end
the
of the
fighters
day,
personally, and we know how hard it was for them even to get there.
Yep.
So like, yeah, it's only just love. You know, the one thing I always tell fight fans is, if you enjoy the fight, don't talk smack. Go buy from the concessions. You know, go buy a shirt. That'll help us put on
yep,
better events,
yep.
right?
Yep.
For
Yeah,
example,
that's the
there's an
key.
old saying that I used to go by back when I used to compete for ICMAC: friendship through martial arts. Because at the end of the day, that's how you build friends as well. It's not just it's a
Mm.
community. We're all friendly. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah,
friendly to the point where it's like, yeah, we know we're gonna end up fighting each other one day, but it's for the sport. You know,
yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
People forget that the term martial arts still has the word art in it,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And it's not just violence. Like fighting, yes, fighting is an aspect of martial arts. And I always tell people you can be a fighter and not a martial artist. A lot of people are fighters, but they're not martial artists. You
yeah,
get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like true martial artists can be a
Hmm.
fighter. But it's just somebody that has respect for the arts and somebody who enjoys doing what they do. And
Correct.
they know the sacrifices they have to put in and the sacrifices other people have to put in to just even step in that cage and step in that ring, you know?
yeah,
It's such
Yep.
a nerve-wracking experience, bro. And every time I do it, I ask myself, why am I doing this? And I want to do it again as soon as it's over. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do it again tomorrow. Like
yeah, yeah.
it's insane.
Yeah.
I guess, Chris Anthony, correct me if I'm wrong, but one good thing about your coach riling you up before the fight was, instead of like having that when you're entering the cage, you're like, oh my god, why am I doing this? It's no fear, right? That's the one thing. He took that fear out of you, so
Yeah,
like
there
you were just
wasn't.
Yeah.
angry.
It wasn't fear. It was almost like a desire. Like I really wanted to bring it home for my coach. I wasn't
Hmm.
worried about myself
Hmm.
necessarily too much. I really just wanted to get it done.
Yeah.
What I will say though is the mental when you're in there and like something that does play a huge part is, let's say you drop somebody with a hard shot and they get up and they keep coming forward. That is discouraging. I
Yeah.
will say. I don't think many people will talk about that side of it. But hitting somebody really hard and watching them just get up and walk forward is super discouraging a lot of the time, especially when you do it
Oh, it's a.
multiple times.
Yeah.
And I can feel myself fading. So
Mm,
a
Mm,
large part of this camp too is mental. I've been running like every day, just for the mental aspect of it because I feel like I allowed my mental to crack a bit
yeah.
when I saw
mm,
him keep coming forward. Even though I knew I was injured, I think that played a part in it where I kind of like cracked on myself a bit.
mm,
You know what I mean? Stuff like
mm.
that too,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely. Definitely. I think this is a good stopping point. I mean, we talked about a lot. So,
Yeah, man.
guys,
Oh yeah.
Xavier Santana and Chris Anthony, of course. Chris Anthony, I'm gonna edit the description and I'll tell people to follow your YouTube channel, of course, your Instagram. But
For sure. Thank
anytime,
you.
seriously, Xavier knows. I mean, the invitation's out for you, Chris Anthony, too. You know, you're
Of
good
course,
people. I
man.
love your approach to all this. So, anytime, even if you just wanna roast some bad martial arts too, we can do one
Oh my
session where
Yeah,
God,
we get a
man.
bro.
Let's
bunch
do
of
it.
We'll
us.
be having field days,
Yeah,
dog. You don't
we'll
Do
just
it.
understand.
watch bad. Like we could do a whole thing. We watch Sistema together or something like that. Like
Let's
that could
do
be
it.
fun too.
I'm
So
down. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
Later.
shout out Chrisanthony, shout out Hurricane X Promotions. We'll shout out Lynn
Yes,
too
sir.
because Lynn was a big part of it. And
Oh, yeah,
shout out
to
Marfort
Lynn.
Muay Thai, man. I think
They give
if
you a
your
shout
Chris
out.
Anthony mentioned if your coach wants to interview with me, tell him I would down to
will.
interview him too. So tell him that.
Oh, heck
Shout
yeah,
out Coach Freddie,
definitely.
man.
Yeah,
For
so
sure.
if Coach Freddie wants to interview with me, I'll be down to interview him in the future too.
Awesome. Thank you guys. All right.
Of course,
Exactly.
man. Of course.
So
Welcome,
for
brother.
everyone watching, thank you guys so much. This is only the beginning. We're gonna do more of these fighter breakdowns of fights. I mean, we learned
Yes,
so
sir.
much from this, and you know, it takes one to know. And so, like, you know, Xavier Santana, you are the man for getting a
Yeah.
different type of vibe, type of YouTube content started. I mean, the fighter
Thank you,
knows the
thank-
fighter. So
Yeah, man. That's
Yeah.
how we gotta encourage it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We gotta break it down. Like, hey, it's new year, new generational stuff. We gotta start changing things, making it more about the fighters, not about the promotions. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Mm.
exactly. More about the martial art part of the fighter, not just
Yes.
I'm gonna smack talk, I'm gonna talk that, you know, like
Yeah.
that was fun, but it doesn't move the martial arts forward.
Correct.
Yeah.
It makes it look more like you're still doing, street crap. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You're
yeah.
still so.
Exactly. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna end it here. Everyone,
Okay.
Fight Commentary Breakdowns, Fight Commentary Chats, and you guys will come back, I know, for more, and we'll have both Xavier Santana, Chris Anthony, and next time maybe Paul too.
Yes,
So,
sir.